Okay, today we are going to talk about a new device on the market. This has actually been out probably for like 3 months, and I ordered mine on Amazon. I've been testing it out for just a little while, and I have lots and lots of thoughts. It is the Theraface. This came out, I want to say like 3 months ago. So we're just going to take it apart. We're going to talk about this device, what it does, so that you can be an informed consumer if this has been on your list. If you are new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician. I'm super excited that you're here. On this channel, we do all kinds of skincare reviews and education. I do protocols, procedures. I love to talk about ingredients and kind of talk about skincare and the skincare industry in general. So if that sounds good to you, I do hope that you will subscribe before you go. Just hit that red subscribe button down below, tap the bell so that you're notified anytime I drop a new video, and let's get into this one. Okay, so Theraface. First of all, this comes from the brand Therabody. Now, Therabody has percussion guns that you can use on your body, and it's one of those things that if you have a percussion gun, you know the value of percussion on your body. Now, I own a percussion gun. Mine is not by Therabody. Mine is actually by the brand Hypervolt, and I've had this for several years. It was also super expensive. It was like $400 and some odd, but I purchased this, and both my husband and I use this on our back, on our neck, on our shoulders. He has used it on, when he's sore from working out or, things like that. We have definitely put this to use for years now. But the truth of the matter is that's a really, really strong device, as is, I'm sure, the Therabody devices. They're really strong percussion, and at least with the Hypervolt, there isn't really like a low setting that you can, just go easy that you would want to use on your face. Although there might be good reason to use it on your face if you are somebody who has TMJ or you suffer from migraines. Vibration therapy, there are scientific studies that show that vibration therapy can be very helpful certainly with TMJ and possibly also with migraines. So, people may be tempted to use this great big body device on their, face, neck and face, and it's really too strong. It's just absolutely too strong. So when Theraface or Therabody came out with their Theraface, the deal is it's much, much weaker, but in a good way. It is truly meant for your facial region, and the impact of the percussion is just so much gentler that you can get a really good massage on your face without beating up your face, essentially. This device is a 4-in-1 tool, and basically you can remove these attachments and you have a different tool. So this is the Microcurrent Attachment. It's on there because it was the last thing that I used. And then there are these little attachments that also magnetize onto the device, like this here. Just magnetize right on really, really easily. And then you can turn the device on. And once it's on, you can choose your level of intensity, 1, 2, or 3, and you get this percussion. So that's just level 1, and then I can turn it up and then up. So you can't tell, but it's actually very, very gentle. And you can hear it's very quiet also. Now, this may seem gimmicky, and I understand that until I used it. The first time that I used the percussion therapy on my face, I was like, oh my gosh. Number one, it's actually very, very difficult to explain how it feels. Clearly you can imagine because it's, a vibration and it's percussion, and, you can kind of imagine how it feels. It is so incredibly relaxing. It truly can. If you are somebody who grinds your teeth, or you have TMJ, or you get migraines, this is really pretty incredible, this kind of vibration therapy. I did look on PubMed, seeing if there were any studies that show, the effects of vibration therapy or percussion on migraines, headaches, TMJ. And sure enough, there are definitely some studies. I will link them in the description box, of course. And basically what they're saying is when they do controlled studies where they compare people who don't have the therapy and people who do have the therapy, the people who do have the therapy definitely have a perception of relief quite a bit more than the people who don't have the therapy. So I found that to be pretty intriguing, that the science actually backs up the fact that this can be extremely relieving for ailments like TMJ and headaches, etc. It definitely does release facial tension, and for me, the main thing was this could actually help with really super light pressure to move lymph. And of course, you guys know that I've talked about that a bunch on this channel. And obviously I have tons of devices and I don't need another device, but I'm always thinking of a review for you. And I'm always thinking, if you were to get this device, how could you use it? What are the multiple ways that it would benefit you? And lymphatic drainage is often top of my list. If that is one of the benefits, then that's a huge plus for me. So that is something that I believe that this device can do very well. Now, it does come with multiple attachments like this. It comes with one that has little, almost like fingers on there. It's textured. That's another one that you can use with the percussion. And again, it's just magnetized right there, which is a really neat, it's very, very well built. Okay, and then the other one that comes with it is this little pointed one, like this. Very soft, pointed like that. So you could really get in and do some specific work on the muscles on your face, especially if you have areas where you have acute pain or acute, kind of tension, that kind of thing. These are fantastic. Okay, the other thing that I really do like about this is that you can use the different attachments in conjunction with each other. So the other attachments that you do have is, like I said, you have the microcurrent attachment, which this is as simple as it works, you guys. It is magnetized here and here. And all you do is you can see where they line up and it goes on and it clicks in. And as soon as the attachment clicks into the device, then the electronic part of the device recognizes that that is the modality, and all of the controls, which are only 3, it's quite simple, now are for microcurrent. And when you take that off, it pulls right off and you put, say, the LED ring on. Put the LED ring on, it clicks on. Now the digital interface knows that it is LED and it will control the LED. There are 3 wavelengths of LED on here. So you get a red, a near infrared, and you get a blue. So it's fantastic if you want to work on acne, if you want to work on collagen induction, etc. But what I really do like about this particular LED is when you first turn it on, you can see, hopefully you can see, it's just a little bright, right? When it gets close to your skin, it brightens up. Do you see how that just happened? Okay, so at first it's not, and then I'll get closer and it lights up more. I love that setting on this one. Anyway, so the deal with handheld LED, I've often been like, man, I don't know about handheld LED. It really seems like, it doesn't seem like just a throwaway type of LED. Some of these handheld devices, you turn on the LED and you're like, that's nonsense. That just looks like it's, not going to do anything. That's not the case with this LED. I really do feel like it actually has enough intensity to do a little bit of work. Now, I will list in the description box the wavelengths. I will list the microamps, etc., that I pulled from the 510K report so that you have all of that information if you are interested in kind of the detailed specs of the LED and of the microcurrent. So like I said, you can combine modalities. So I've got the LED on here. I could then add the little percussion tip here. And now I've got LED and percussion. So I could sit and work on I could work on muscle tension. I could work on lymphatic drainage. I could just warm up my muscles for microcurrent as I'm doing both the percussion and LED. I think that that is pretty sweet. Now it does have a beep that goes off every 15 seconds just to kind of keep you, going along so that you have kind of a cadence to the treatment. And then the treatment finishes at 8 minutes. Another one of the attachments that comes with this device is a cleansing attachment. Now I think that that's really neat because one of my favorite tools is the PMD Clean. Now this is essentially a PMD Clean. You put this on here and there is the facial cleansing attachment. Now again, now that this attachment is on here and it's a really soft silicone, nubby little cleansing ring, now that that is on there, when I use the buttons here, they know you're in cleansing mode. It's a very, very smart little device. So when you want to use this as a cleansing tool, you just put some of your cleanser here and you use it like the PMD Clean. So if you are somebody who doesn't have the PMD Clean, you don't have microcurrent, maybe you don't even have LED yet, this is one of those tools that actually, even though it is more expensive than a lot of these other tools individually, combined, it actually is pretty good value. And the sturdiness and the construction of it is incredibly well made. It also comes with a case that you can carry it in. It's like that neoprene, and it's got some pockets in there so that you can store the attachments. The device also comes with a little kind of like a stand that you can use to keep it like this. So you can keep it, you know, hanging out. It does come in white, and this one is white and like a rose pink gold accents here. And then it also comes in black. So it comes in 2 different colors. A charge lasts just like maybe 2 hours. So typically it's a good idea, I would say, to charge it after at least every second use. I would charge it up. The microamps on the microcurrent, according to the 510K, go up to 500 microamps. Although I will tell you, I can't feel the microamps in that at all. Like I barely feel the microcurrent happening at all. It is definitely microcurrent. Now, if you're not familiar with what microcurrent is or does, essentially it is very low level of electrical current that is beneficial to our facial features because it goes in and helps to produce something called adenosine triphosphate. It can help to, you know, tone the muscles. It can help with kind of lift on the face. It's very, very good for the skin because of the production of that adenosine triphosphate. ATP is a cellular energy source, and it's one of those things that is really integral in collagen and elastin production and overall health of our skin. So because of that, boosting the production of ATP is very, very useful in general in skin care. Now, I've spoken before how I think that microcurrent is a really fantastic pre-microneedling modality. So in the months prior to your plan to take off on a microneedling, you know, progression, you know, once a month for the next 6 months, let's say, if you do something prior to that with microcurrent for a couple of months, a full regimen dedicated to microcurrent, your microneedling results will be amplified, in my opinion, because you're really, really prepping so that you get the best results from microneedling. So that is part of the reason why we're talking a lot about microcurrent in the middle to the end of this summer, because in my opinion, mid-fall through the winter is microneedling season. So this is microcurrent season. Now you can continue to do microcurrent all the way through while you're microneedling. You can definitely have a treatment schedule that contains both of those modalities, but I really highly recommend that you put down your medical needling during the summer and you amp up, no pun intended, your microcurrent over the summer to prepare yourself for microneedling. Okay, now to compare the massage aspect of this to Therabody or, you know, something like a Hypervolt, you can see how long this is, which means that it has the ability to really, you know, have a wide range of motion, which means it can kind of punch even more. And of course, it's more powerful. This one, on the other hand, has about a 3 millimeter versus a much larger 12, 14 millimeter range. So when you get just that 3 millimeter range here, that means that it's a very, very gentle vibration, gentle percussion. That's part of the difference between the face and the body. Once again, the LED ring is 3 different lights. You get red, you also get near infrared, and then you get blue light therapy. So if you are interested in more information on LED, definitely subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing an entire LED refresh this fall, or in the coming weeks actually, so you can learn a little bit more about LED. It is one of my very favorite modalities. It is absolutely non-invasive and fantastic for encouraging collagen stimulation and improving elastin. It can be extremely helpful with acne control because the blue LED is antimicrobial, antibacterial, and just really does help with clearing acne in an incredibly non-invasive way. Perfect, in my opinion, for teenagers, and perfect for people who just are acne prone but also super sensitive, and it's really hard for them to use some of the big guns when it comes to skincare. Blue light can be super duper helpful. So I actually really like that it has that functionality. Okay, so going from there, there are additional rings that you can get that I did pick up, and they are warm and cool rings. I was really excited about both of these because I love a good cooling anything, as you guys know, because I love my MA tool that I drag that thing around with me everywhere. And essentially it is kind of like this cooling ring. It is a gua sha shaped tool. I've talked about it so many times, but it gets cool and it gets warm, and it also does vibrate. I love that thing. I mean, to me, it is just that cooling sensation around the eyes especially is absolutely fantastic. So I did spend the extra $100 to buy these 2 additional attachments. And I have to say that if there was anywhere where I would probably give this a negative, it would be the cooling ring. Now, when you first start using the cooling ring, it indeed does feel cool on the little parts that are metal here. But not too long into the treatment, I feel like I start to feel warmth, like real warmth, everywhere else. So it isn't fully cooling. Like with my MA device, it takes a long time before the kind of outer part of the tool starts to feel pretty warm, because it's obviously like working. So there's going to be some heat in the mechanics of it. But the actual tip, the gua sha part of that MA tool, stays cool for quite a long time without you feeling the heat moving up from the device itself. I feel like it doesn't take very long before the cooling part of this is still cool, but everything around it starts to get pretty warm. So for that reason, I'm not sure if I wasn't doing this for a video or whatever, and I knew this information up front, I probably wouldn't have spent the extra $100 to get the cooling and the warming tip. Now, the warming tip is fantastic, and it can be really great for warming up the muscles, especially before you do a microcurrent session. But again, because for me, $100 for both of the rings, it just seems like I probably would get this from a different tool. Now, that's just my opinion, of course, but that is the warming tool. And then of course, this was the cooling tool. So I probably wouldn't recommend those personally. Now, the way that I would do this treatment, if I wanted to do all of the things, is that I would start, of course, with a cleanse, with the cleansing ring. Then I would move on to percussion therapy with LED. That would be the second step. And then the final step would be microcurrent. That would be where I would finish. You pretty much always want to finish any treatment protocol that has microcurrent in it. Usually microcurrent is the last step, and any of the warming or heating or exercise type movements, any of the massage, all of that comes before microcurrent. Am I glad I bought it? That is always going to be the question for me with any of these devices. And the answer is absolutely yes. The percussion therapy alone is magnificent. It absolutely makes it feel like you are at a massage therapist getting a fancy facial and getting a fancy kind of disconnecting, meditative, wonderful feeling treatment on your face. It's really quite incredible. And it's not like anything else I have. I think that that's what I appreciate most about this device, is that it is pretty novel. The idea of doing percussion therapy on your face is very, very interesting to me. If you are interested in maybe a full protocol, a full demo of this device, maybe start to finish with actually using cleanser all the way through to final skincare, I'm happy to do that. Just comment that in the comment section. Let me know if you have seen this device, what you think of it, if you have any other questions. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.